Stranger, have you seen a Grey Warden hereabouts? I hear tell that he, or was that she, you understand this was several flagons ago, was setting out to search for Branka on the Prince's own orders. Stout and muscular, fair of face, but with a strong jaw and a bold nose, surrounded by a great glowing nimbus. If she's a woman, she might be more slight, but her eyes will shine with the light of purity, and her large but chaste bosom will heave magnificently. I've been looking for hours, but I haven't seen anyone who looks like that. Very frustrating. Well, if you're the best they got, then standards must have fallen way down. But I suppose that would account for an elf being down here. Say, could I ask you a favor? Stuff your head. I have a bleeding paragon to find. I don't have time to worry about your sodding feelings. I'm not saying I should be your first pick for a dance partner at whatever Highness's inaugural ball, but in the deep roads, I'm your man. And if you're looking for Branka, I'm the only one who knows what she was looking for, which might be pretty sodding helpful in finding her. I know what Branka wanted, and how she was looking. You presumably know everything Balin scouts have discovered about where she disappeared. If we pool our knowledge, we stand a chance of finding Branka. Otherwise, good sodding luck. Perfect. What's one more? Branka was a brilliant girl, but half the time she'd add 2 and 2 and make it 50. You want to find her, you need someone who knows how she thinks. I'm not some sodding elf maiden who sits around and waits for a passing hero to solve my problems. I'm a bloody warrior. I mean to get her back. And you wouldn't be down here if you weren't trying for the same thing. Branka was looking for the Anvil of the Void. Might have been the most important invention in Orzamar's history. The smith Kieran built it, and with it, Orzammar had 100 years of peace, while it was protected by the golems forged on the anvil. As far as anyone knows, the anvil was built in the old Orton Tig. Branka planned to start looking there, if she could ever find it. All she knew was that it was past Kieran's cross. No one's seen that Tig for 500 years. Why? We were sodding married until she left me and took our whole house into the deep roads on her mad quest for the anvil. It was a stupid move. If I'd been with her, she'd have made it back years ago. But I forgive her. If we're going, let's get moving. Branka's not gonna sodding find herself. Perdition's Cross. I can't believe Balin actually tracked this place down. This used to be one of the biggest crossroads in the old Empire. You could get anywhere from here, including Orton Tig. It's the home of Kieran, the paragon who made the anvil. He was an Orton before he founded his own house, and even then, he spent most of his time in their Tig. Branka figured it was the best guess for where the anvil was located. Aye. Branka dug up some maps of the ancient empire. It's a little tough to tell with so much of it collapsed now, but near as I can figure, we're on the right path to Orton Tig. Not a one. But trust me, We will once we're on the path to the old Orton Tig. She was going to Kieran's home. I've been waiting for someone to say that for 2 sodding years.
Well, look what we have here. Some of Balin's new toadies. Let's show them who's king.
Here they come.
You deserve.
The Swamp Witch desires something from it.
From what? Ah, you mean from him. And if I do, what of it?
It is aware of the Swamp Witch's true nature.
Let me guess. You know my true nature?
I have spent a great deal of time observing the world. I know what I see when I see it.
You spent 30 years watching whatever a small village was willing to parade in front of your eyes. Do not cast yourself as the worldly sage. At best, you are a barely working statue with a poor memory and a poor attitude. Do not seek to begin judging me.
Perhaps it has a point.
Yes, I should think so.
Of course. And so I shall. All right. So I shall. Of course. So I shall. All right. Of course.
Time to end their pathetic existences.
And so I shall.
Another battle,
As you decide. So I shall. Of course. All right. Of course. And so I shall. How's that? See there? That's a trap. I would watch out. Of course.
Aha! What to do? Yeah!
All right. Of course. As you desire. Of course. All right.
Now this should be easy. Yeah!
have just given up, you know. No. It appears we will need to fight the Blight one at a time. See there? That's a trap. I would watch out, were I you. See there? That's a trap.
What now? Go.
Direct me. All right. Of course. All right. As you desire. Of course. And so I shall. All right. Of course. As you desire. Delighted.
I never thought I'd see this place in the flesh. I can see Bronca all over this place. She always took chips from the walls at regular intervals when she was in a new tunnel. Check their composition. If she was still here, though, she'd have sentries out by now. This was Kieran's home Tig. He was an Orton before he got raised to Paragon. Even stayed here when he could have had his own house. I guess he didn't want to move his people to Bunamar. The City of the Dead. Kieran built it to honor the Legion of the Dead, but it was more like a sodding mausoleum than anything. Of course, that was all before he built the anvil. After that, he was the city's pet genius until he angered the king and fell into disfavor. No, there was a Tig here. The Orton Tig. Bunamar is north and west of here. But that's not important. Or at least I hope it isn't. The City of the Dead is known as the Dead Trenches since the Darkspawn conquered it. Much of the Legion was destroyed when the fortress fell. No one does. At the time, Orton Tig was almost part of the main city. No one bothered to mark where the anvil was stored. Now it's impossible to know if it's been moved or even destroyed. But trust me, if we find it, we find Bronca. Couldn't have said it better myself. What do you people see in him?
See in whom?
In the Warden.
Jealous, are we?
Jealous of him?
Of course. A handsome man with women fawning over him. It must be very difficult for you to handle. I do not blame you your envy, however, especially considering that the chances of any woman who is not struck both blind and dumb of providing you the attention you crave is slight.
Quiet you. You can't get under my skin.
Were I you, I would simply give up all hope of knowing another woman at all. Or have you already? A wise move, if so.
Forget I said anything.
Trust me, dwarf, I already have.
As you desire. And so I shall.
Another battle, I see!
You will switch finally beneath my hand.
Complete. As you desire.
You will learn fear.
As you desire.
Tear them apart!
And so I shall.
Move aside.
Of course.
Restored that which was cut asunder, and revealed my hiding place. Speak your intention. Seek you vengeance or reward? My deception was convenience, not cowardice. A fight you want. A fight you shall have!
Delighted. As you desire. Delighted. And so I shall.
There's nothing for you here. It's mine. I've claimed it. You've come to take my claim. You surfaces are all alike. Thieving scoundrels. Well, I found it first.
Bah. He's a bloody scavenger. Good as sodding gone.
Begone, you! You'll bring the Dark Ones back, you will. They'll crunch your bones.
Word has it you can only survive down here by eating the Darkspawn dead. It brings the taint, turns their brains to sewage, but it hides them from the Darkspawn.
Well, if you need to dispose of Darkspawn bodies after the Blight.
It's my claim, not yours! Crunch your bones!
What shall we do here? All right.
Oh, this should be good.
Delightful. So I shall.
Now this should be amusing.
Delightful. You decide. All right.
Off we go to combat!
Delightful. As you decide. All right. And so I shall.
Go away! This is mine! Only I gets to plunder its riches! No! No talking! You leave my territory! You won't take anything from Ruck? You won't take his shiny worms? Or pretty rocks? Oh. Ruck not mind that, maybe. Yes, Ruck's my name. I do not hear it much, so sometimes I like to speak it out loud. Ruck! 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 No. No filter. No mother. No warm blanket and stew and pillow and soft words. Ruck doesn't deserve good memories. No. She did not know. Not what I did. I was very angry, and then someone was dead, and they wanted to send Ruck to the mines. If I went to the mines, she would know. Everyone would know. So I came here instead. Once you eat, once you takes in the darkness, you not miss the light so much. You know, do you not? Ruck sees. Yes, he sees the darkness inside you. Gray like the stone, guardian against the darkness. When the Dark Ones were here, I kept to the shadows. They don't look in the shadows, not if you're quiet, not if you eat their flesh. Then the Dark Ones think you're one of them. They leave you alone, but now they're gone. The crawlers, they used to eat the smallest Dark Ones. Now the crawlers go hungry. Too long ago, I must think. 5 years? 6? Ruck no longer remembers the smells and sights of the city. I will answer your questions. Bits of things, but only bits. The crawlers took almost everything. They take things of steel and things of paper. They takes the shinies and the words.
Paper and words. That sounds like someone was taking notes. Do you think Bronca camped here?
They bring to the great nest, the nest they makes for the eggs. They puts the shinies inside, they do.
complete. Ah, another battle speeds our way.
Begin the onslaught. You cannot win.
As you desire. Of course, as you desire. All right. All right. All right. Delighted. And so I shall. As you desire. Yes. It appears we will need to fight the blocks one at a time.
Play fair! Hey now!
Oh, this
You're wasting time.
delightful.
You desire. Of course. Of course. And so I shall. All right.
Still doomed, just so you know.
Where'd they go? Is all that blood mine?
Another creature ahead. Delighted. And so I shall. All right.
Orders!
Yes?
Yes. All right.
Oh, this should be good.
Delighted. As you desire. And so I shall. Delighted. All right. Of course. Delighted. As you desire.
Idiot.
All right. As you desire. And so I shall.
This is the part I like.
Of course. And so I shall. All done. I have finished.
Bronco was thinking about me. I knew she still cared. Old softy. Looks like the dead trenches is our next stop then. They say the Darkspawn nest there. Whole herds of them. But if that's where Bronco went, then that's where I'm going.
Lyin, as you desire. So I shall. And so I shall. All right. All right. As you desire. All right. Wonderful!
Trasvala, Grey Warden. I've never seen one of your kind in the deep roads. In the Legion of the Dead, we abandon our lives to be free of fear, free of hopeful blindness. The coming blight is obvious to us. The surprise is not that you have come, but that you have come in so small a number. What do you want here, Warden? It's an odd tactic, recruiting from the front line. The Darkspawn pitch their camps in our tunnels between your blights, you know. Give me a dwarven reason to look topside. Who put this dull idea in your head? We got other things to worry about in Orzammar. Ah, now I see. The Deep Lords in the Assembly can't make up their minds, so the Pretenders need added influence. I get that right? Warden, you've got your work cut out for you. Paragon Branca is dead, everyone with sense knows it. Past our line, the Darkspawn kill everything. I'd gladly lead an assault through the dead trenches, but without an ass in the throne, we have no orders. I won't take fool's gold from a pretender. You want to go digging blind? You go right ahead. We die in the eyes of our brothers so we can fight without fear. It offers redemption for the promise of the greatest sacrifice. That's all you need to know. To say more invites judgment, or worse, imitation. Why? The other kingdoms only care when the Darkspawn march in the light. But they are always here, always pushing. Your nightmare is my everyday. Our resolve gives you a rest between blights. A surge on the surface would give us a break. When the time comes, I'll care for a good dwarven reason. Sod the rest. Black Dusters have heard of respect. Never seen it. And if it exists, it wasn't meant for me. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the Anvil, and endless lyrium. Good luck, Grey Warden. Well, Grey Warden, I'll give you credit for backbone. You've dug a line through the spawn. Still no sense in your head, but you've got skill. Good luck, Grey Warden.
As you desire. Delighted. Of course. So I shall. Why do they bother?
First day they come and catch everyone.
All right.
Second day, they beat us and eat some for meat. Fifth day they return and it's another girl's turn. Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew.
I have done it. Complete.
Eighth day we hated as she is violated. Ninth day she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast. First day they come and what is this? An elf? Exotic and impossible. Feeding time brings only kin and clan. I am cruel to myself. You are a dream of strangers' faces and open doors. First day they come and catch everyone. It's what I've seen. What I will become. I force it into verse, so it is fantasy. Unreal. That's the only place I can hide. Because they make me. They make me eat. And then, all I could do was wish Lyin went first. I wished it upon her so that I would be spared. But I had to watch. I had to see the change. How do you endure that? How did Branka endure? Do not talk of Branka, of what she did. Ancestors preserve us. Forgive me. I was her captain, and I didn't stop her. Her lover, and I could not turn her. Forgive her. But no, she cannot be forgiven. Not for what she did. Not for what she has become. I will not speak of her, of what she did, of what we have become. I will not turn. I will not become what I have seen. Not Lyin, not Branka. She became obsessed. That is the word, but it is not strong enough.
How many of these things must we wade through?
All right. Of course. As you desire. As you desire.
Little existences.
Watch out. Delighted. All right. Sadly not.
We tried to escape, but they found us. They took us all. Turned us.
I thought it would have fallen into dust by now.
Haha, they're all so eager to die, aren't they? As you desire. So I shall. All right. Shame about the face! Of course. Delighted. Why do they bother? As you desire. Of course.
I am not.
The men, they kill. They're merciful. But the women, they want to touch, to mold, to change until you are filled with them.
All done.
They took Lyin. They made her eat the others, our friends. She tore off her husband's face and drank his blood.
And so I shall.
And while she ate, she grew. She swelled and turned gray, and she smelled like them. They remade her in their image. Then she made more of them. Brood mother.
More
foul darkspawn.
Of course. And so I shall. Of course. All right. Delighted. All right. As you desire. And so I shall. And so I shall. As you desire. And so I shall. Of course, as you desire. And so I shall. All right. And so I shall. I shall. All right, of course. As you desire, and so I shall. Delighted, as you desire. Of
It's your time to die!
course. Right. Come, let's shed some blood!
That's where they come from. That's why they hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka, by the stone! I barely recognized you.
Ogren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Ogren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Endrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. A king won't defeat a blight. We've had 40 generations of kings, and lost everything. I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very dark spawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void, the means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. A 1,000 Balins could die and history wouldn't notice. I'm looking for the one thing that will return our days of glory. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Kieran himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the Anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caradon's maze, and out to where the Anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon. I needed people to test Caradon's traps. There's no way to break through except I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespeth.
All right.
Even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices. As many sacrifices.
And how's that? As you desire. Now listen to me. All right. And so I shall.
You're gonna pay!
shall.
Now this is more like it.
Of course. See there? That's a trap. I would watch out were I you. As you desire. Delightful. Of course. And so I shall. All right. Of course.
I should like it.
As you desire. It cannot be. Of course.
You will learn to fear me!
I have done it. And so I shall. As you desire. Delightful. I have finished.
Scream for mercy!
And so I shall. As you desire. Delightful. Of course. You could have just given up, you know. All right. As you desire. Of course.
Finished.
I have done it.
My name is Kieran. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Kieran, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the Golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The anvil of the void? That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. So said my king. I had only intended to use volunteers, but he was not satisfied, and soon a river of blood flowed out of this place. Finally, it was too much. I refused, and so Valtor had me put on the anvil next. Not revenge. The blow of the hammer opened my eyes. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shea. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Bronca, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with dark spawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Karadin? Good. That seems right.
Have you no desire to discover this anvil's potential? It is a marvel, a tool of creation. You could rival the Maker himself with this instrument. If you destroy the anvil, I swear you will regret it. You would not dare. I would rather not find out. Fine. Destroy it if it pleases you.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Karadin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! My friend! You must help me! I cannot stop her alone!
All the noise is off.
Here they come.
So I shall. The light. All right, of course. As you said.
Your time is up!
Ready. So I shall. All right. Of course.
It's your time to die!
You don't know what.
All right. So I shall.
Let us end this!
All right.
Begin the onslaught!
So I shall.
You don't know what.
Now this is more like it. As you said. All right.
Now we get our hands dirty.
The light.
Listen to me. Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Karadin?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shell. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it.
Yes, excellent idea. Just destroy it now, after all this.
Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden?
Yeah. I don't suppose you can bring Bronca back. Maybe make her a golem like you?
I would not do such a thing to her, even if I could.
Somehow I didn't think so. Well, and I don't want anything that would remind me of this. Best it's just done. There is still the matter of the election. I mean, we still need a paragon to get the Assembly support, right?
For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust and all tongue sharp. May you always find your way in the dark.
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Norzimar, I bet they'd brown their trousers and pay good gold for it. Probably both. pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshirs have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Most impressive, Warden. King Balin's ascent to his father's throne has been recorded in the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? What's this? A list of names. Most of these clans no longer even exist. Is this authentic?
You bet your hairy arse it is. Taken from a tablet in Kieran's fortress, no less.
Then is it true? The rumors of Kieran's so-called volunteers? Extraordinary! I would love to make a copy of this. The Shaperate has never had much information on Kieran and his golems, much less proof of this magnitude. Warden, I hope this artifact from our archives will suffice as a reward. I must inform the Shaperate at once.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Kieran was trapped in the body of a golem. This warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Kieran forged a crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
I would like to believe Ogren's word, but it's well known the Grey Warden is Balin's hireling.
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Ortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Kieran choose?
At last, this farce has ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
Do you acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a paragon. The throne is yours, King Balin.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him! You know better than anyone the war facing us, Warden. Orzammar cannot afford to be divided. Anyone undermining my reign is serving only the Darkspawn. I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden.
You have my gratitude for all you have done for me. You have proven yourself and more, Warden. Without your aid, I would not have taken this throne so smoothly or so soon. My generals are already preparing for a mission to the surface. When you have need of us, you shall have every able-bodied dwarf in Orzammar. Since you did more than I expected, I offer a personal reward as well. This was a mall favored by my brother Trian. Take it with you, as a reminder of your ties to Orzammar. Now, I have much to do. If there is nothing else... As it was meant. Now, I must address my other petitioners. Come back and visit sometime.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck? What is it? Is he dead? Oh, please don't torment me. Crazy. Oh, ancestors, save him. I've heard of this. Lost soldiers turning on each other, eating darkspawn flesh. Is that what happened to my boy? Why didn't you bring him home? No. There must be a way. If he lives, there's hope. I have to go to him. He needs me. Oh, he must be so frightened out there, so lonely. I thank you for what you've done. Even if you couldn't be bothered with more. Take this. It's my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I was saving it for Ruck, but I want you to have it. As my thanks.
Give me a moment. By the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there. Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
Of course. I didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family, since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Oh, it wasn't always like that. Does it have to be serious and deadly all the time? Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by, nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
What say you? By all means. Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom, or so the saying goes. It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go, at least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable? No? That is too bad. If you were, then surely you would spend as much time boasting about it as I do. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most. It may as well be, but not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. Ah, but it's not Antivan leather, is it? I do not know what the Antivan tanners do that is different, but there is no leather more supple nor more fragrant. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. Ah, but I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no? Yes, and now here I am. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object? And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why. Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something? You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. You're a monster on the field already, Warden. But your style just doesn't give itself to mad rage. Too much thinking, too much, finesse. But if you know someone fit for this type of work, I'll teach him. It'll be nice to have another berserker to grunt at for a change. If you want to think like a berserker, drop fair from your vocabulary. If it works, that's all. What about? Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway. I swear to the stone, the next time someone asks me that, I'll write my name in bruises on their ass. Ancestors take me. You people whine like tea kettles around here.
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden? Ah, I see. Do you mind if I ask what you did? I'm speechless. It never ceases to amaze me whenever I hear of such despicable acts. Regardless of what happened in your past, I am glad you found a place with the Wardens, as I'm sure you are too. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to, that it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. I am not a dwarf. Or at least, I'm not a dwarf any longer. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. There is another way. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is. Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it.